That was a good catch. Double pump. Me and my dad always go outside and play football. There you go.
This teenager says he will never take a pass for granted. The chance to spend time not only with his dad, but the rest of his family, simply playing a game.
Good job. High five.
I can tell you love your family.
Yeah.
Throw it to me. Oh, good job.
But this teen, who we're not showing to protect his privacy, says there are still nights he wakes up fearful the game will end.
I try not to think about it because it was a bad 1, 2, 3 years of my life.
3 years ago, that's when court records say his mom got mixed up with drugs, his dad had a few too many beers, and his parents started to fight about it. A 911 call to de-escalate the situation led to a knock on the door by DFACS.
So here you thought you were calling for help.
But it turned out to be the worst phone call ever.
A year later, when DFACS and the judge didn't feel the parents were taking their treatment seriously, Judge Joseph White gave temporary custody of the Hendersons' 3 children to the state. Fearing there was no way to fight the decision, they ran.
If you love something like that so much, you'll do just about anything.
In the eyes of the law, the Hendersons had just interfered with custody, essentially kidnapping their own kids.
Did they have any idea what had happened in court that day?
No.
There was an Amber Alert, newspaper headlines, and arrest warrants.
This is the police!
It took several weeks for U.S. Marshals to find them in Louisiana. When they busted down the door in the middle of the night, Martha thought they were all going to die.
When they beat down the door, there were literally lasers on every one of our heads. My 18-month-old daughter had a laser on her head.
But it was that raid in the dark of night that ended up shining a light on how easy our child welfare system can misuse its power.
It was me against you. That's what it was.
That's what he said, too.
Literally, because the day the Hendersons' children were removed, they didn't have an attorney. Their representation filed a motion to withdraw just 2 working days before court, and the judge denied the request for a continuance.
You were trying to defend yourself. You have papers in front of you. You're like, it's right here. No, that's wrong. They're wrong. They're lying.
According to the court transcript, there were no witnesses sworn in, no evidence, or chance to cross-examine the statements made by DFACS. By law, the state argued the judge didn't need it. The Georgia Appeals Court seemed just as surprised as the parents.
So they didn't even need a hearing that day.
They don't need a hearing. They don't need notice. The juvenile court has the authority to act in the best interest of the children.
Based upon what, though? As long as the government says it's okay, then by God, it's okay.
Yes, that's what the juvenile court has the authority to do, and your
That
remedy
is
at that point.
In its written ruling, Judge Tripp Self wrote, "Constitutional rights are commandments, not suggestions." Chief Judge Dillard went on to call the state's justification for removing the children nonsense on stilts.
This is not an issue of significant public concern.
I got to tell you, I'm in the public and I'm concerned.
DFACS records are not public, nor are court proceedings. It was the family that gave us access to their case records, transcripts, and recordings. In them, you can hear the judge's frustration with the parents.
It's not your decision right now. So you need to stop saying what you've done enough of. I'll decide that.
When we look at our child welfare system, it's not just DFACS.
That's one agency. It's a bureaucracy responsible for protecting children. But you're right, DFACS never has the power to take a child out of a home. Period. The court has that power.
But attorney and juvenile court judge pro tem Ashley Wilcott says the court needs that power. She says the appeals court ruling clarifies parents have the right to representation. Says judges in child welfare cases also need the authority to move fast.
You may have, for instance, a meth home or a lab explosion, and the children have to be removed because there's no one else.
She's their princess.
But the Hendersons argue this was not that situation.
Do you ever feel like you or your brother or sister have ever been abused or neglected?
Oh.
Well, for this family, the court battle resulted in victory. It is clear no one walked away a winner.
I'm with my family back now, Thank the Lord for that. But, I think sometimes, what if it didn't go this way?